Hello, future travelers. Welcome back to Legalopolis. Today, we are diving into a topic that often causes a lot of confusion, and that is the difference between a visa and immigration status. So, let's get started. Now, friends, visa refers to an official document issued by the United States, that is the sticker in your passport, which allows you to travel to the US and request entry into the country. A visa is always granted for a particular purpose and duration. It could be a tourist visa, business visa, H-1B visa, L2 visa, etc. And in order to get this visa, you have to apply for the same at the US Embassy or consulate in your country of residence, submit documents relevant to the visa category you're applying for, and clear the interview to prove your eligibility. Once you get the visa, it allows you to travel to any United States port of entry and request admission into the United States. After which, the immigration officer at the port of entry reviews your documents and conducts a brief interview to decide whether you should be allowed to enter the United States or not. Friends, I have made many videos about how to apply for an H-1B visa, an L2 visa, B2 visa, and many more such videos. I would encourage you to check it out. I'm sure they will prove out to be very helpful. So friends, in summary, visa is that document which allows you to enter the issuing country, and in this case, it's the United States. Now, status, on the other hand, refers to the official immigration classification or legal category under which you have been admitted into the United States. The immigration officer at the port of entry determines your status based on the evidence you present at the time to demonstrate the purpose of your visit to the United States. This status is documented through an electronic I-94 arrival record, which includes your date of arrival in the United States, your immigration status, and the expiration date of your status. Now friends, normally for most visas, the expiration date will be a specific date. However, in the case of an F1, that is student visa, J1, that is an exchange visitor visa, or M1, vocational student visa, the expiration will be shown as D/S, and this stands for duration of status. This indicates that as long as you comply with the terms of the visa, you can legally stay in the United States for the duration of your educational program that you are doing. However, sometimes mistakes might occur when the officer is entering your details either on the passport stamp or in your electronic I-94 record. These mistakes must be corrected to ensure that you have proper documentation of your status in the United States. And therefore, I would recommend that after being admitted into the United States by an immigration officer, you check the details on your visa stamp and electronic I-94 record for accuracy. If you find any discrepancies, you should either visit the CBP office in person with the relevant documents to get the corrections made, or contact them via email attaching the necessary proof and requesting correction. Now friends, once this status is correctly assigned to you, it specifies the purpose of your presence in the United States. It also defines the rights and responsibilities of visa holders. Each status type comes with specific rules, regulations, responsibilities, permissions, restrictions, and benefits. For example, L2 dependent status allows employment authorization for L1 spouses and permits the L2 dependents to attend schools and colleges in the United States, while a tourist visa does not grant these rights. That's why it is essential to understand these regulations and adhere to what is permitted under your assigned status. Doing so ensures you can stay in the United States until your status expires. Any violation of these rules designates you as out of status, meaning you no longer have the right to be in the United States, which can lead to severe consequences, including deportation. And friends, have you ever wondered about the complexities of holding multiple visas versus your status in the United States? Well, the answer is you can have multiple US visas in your passport, but you can have only one immigration status at a time in the United States. Let's understand with the help of an example. Suppose you hold both a tourist visa, that is a B2 visa, and a student visa, that is F1 visa in your passport. Now you can use your tourist visa for a short vacation in the United States and then switch to your student visa once you start attending university. Remember, despite having both visas, you can only be in one immigration status at a time. While vacationing, you are in B2 status, and when your studying begins, you switch to F1 status. You can't have both status active simultaneously at the same time. And friends, did you know if your visa has expired, you can still continue to stay legally in the United States under a valid immigration status until its expiration date. However, if you leave the United States for any reason like visiting family or traveling to other countries temporarily and plan to return back to the United States, simply having a valid status won't be enough. You'll need to obtain a new visa from the US consulate or embassy abroad before you can re-enter the country. Therefore, to conclude, regardless of whether your status remains valid while you are inside the US, your ability to re-enter the US after traveling abroad is dependent solely on the validity of your visa. Let's understand with the help of an example. Suppose you are in the United States on an F1 student visa and your visa expires while you are still enrolled at a university. Now, despite your status remaining valid because you are actively attending school and complying with all student visa regulations, if you choose to visit your family outside the US during summer break, you must apply for a new F1 student visa at a US consulate or embassy before leaving the country. So while your status remains valid in the United States, that is, your status is a student F1 status, it alone will not allow you to re-enter the United States after your trip. You must have a valid visa for re-entry. So friends, to summarize, think of your US visa like a ticket to a movie theater. This ticket allows you to enter and enjoy a movie that represents your initial entry into the United States. Now, once inside the theater, you must follow the theater's rules and regulations, that is your immigration status. Now, if you disrupt other moviegoers or engage in prohibited activities, you could be considered a disturbance and deemed out of movie status. This may result in warnings, being asked to leave the theater, or even being banned from future screenings. Similarly, violating the rules of your immigration status in the United States can lead to penalties or loss of permission to remain in the country, which means deportation. So friends, always remember to adhere to the rules of your US entry status. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and do consider subscribing for more useful content. Best of luck with your visa journey, and until next time, safe travels!